And the highlight is that we have brought down the amount of deficit or the amount of money we anticipate to borrow, because we want to walk the talk of borrowing less and relying more on our own internal resources. And that is why we had to cut off the budget by over 2 or actually close to 300 billion, so that we make a budget that we will actually be able to fund using the resources that we are sure that we are going to attain. And therefore this has been a very critical consideration as we make the budget for this financial year. The other thing which is critical is that we are still negotiating with our counties. They clearly need resources. To be honest, because I've met our governors and I have also met even the COG, we must be deliberate, as the president is showing us, in supporting our counties. There are so many roles our counties are undertaking which will definitely require more funding. For example, the recent increments in terms of the levies, that is taking a direct expenditure line from the various counties, and therefore it will be critical that we also do our bit in terms of supporting them. Our budget that we are working on for next financial year, that is 24-25 financial year, is around 3.9 trillion Kenya shillings, thereabout. And out of which then, we have been able to lower our deficit to only 2.9% of our GDP, something that has not been seen in Kenya for a very long time. So what we are trying to do is to borrow less and rely more on our own internal resources, because you have seen this is the only way to sustainably grow our economy, by looking inwards and also putting in resources where the people are.
The Chair of Budget, National Assembly, has clearly put it. And for me, on behalf of the governors, as the Chair of Finance, Council of Governors, I was just requesting the National Assembly to really consider the amount which it's being proposed to go to counties, so that it is actually realistic. Because in this financial year, we were allocated 385.4 billion Kenya shillings. In the next financial year, the proposed allocation is 391 billion Kenya shillings, basically a 5.5 increase in terms of amounts. But the itemized activities that we need to deal with, number one, for us to fully implement the doctor's CBA, we require 5.8 billion shillings. We are now taking on board the medical equipment services, which we require almost 20 billion shillings for procurement and servicing. The increased levies require around 4.2 billion. So what I'm trying to tell the National Assembly is, let us be realistic to counties. Lastly, we also condole the families that have lost their loved ones on the ongoing floods. But at the counties, we have a challenge of financing some of those programs, because the disaster funds are still domiciled in the national government.